Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Miss Camay Show. I'm your host, Miss Camay, coming to you from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, I have the honor and the pleasure of interviewing, I think, one of the most popular men in pageantry today. This guy has been blowing up the internet for the past 3 weeks. He just won a title with the All World Beauty Pageant. Shout out to Andrea Sledge for putting on an amazing pageant again. So amazing things that she's doing in pageantry. We love you. I know her very well. She actually beat me in pageant competition, my very first pageant competition. Amazing woman. Mr. Man of Distinction Ambassador 2021, Edward Tapia. Welcome to the Miss Camay Show. Hello.
Hi, guys. Thank you. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I have to tell you, when I saw you claim your title, I was so intrigued by your sense of fashion, your presence on stage. I went on around the internet searching for pictures of you because a woman of fashion myself, they call me shoe show in pageantry. Always a different pair of shoes with every outfit, right? Your style, your class, your sense of fashion, it is stellar and really representing for the kings in the world, right? Showing them how to dress, how to represent, how to appear, how to present themselves. Such a great job, fabulous representation. I know Andrea is very proud that you are representing her and her system. So why pageantry? Like, why pageantry? So many people, you know, think pageantry and they think women, right? They never think men. So why pageantry? Where did this start for you?
That's a good question, Camay. It started in 2016. I was invited to be a guest at a women battered women kind of like an event, and so I was asked to be a speaker there and share some of my story on how I was born and things like that, and also share my platform as well as my story within the modeling industry and how that could bring change to these women that are going through these circumstances. And so while I was doing my thing, I was also one of the singers of the night, and I did my performance. And then I did a slideshow of my before and after, you know, the way I was born. And then I had some photos of my modeling photos so that the audience can view. As I was doing the presentation, I see these women coming in with these amazing gowns and these amazing dresses, and they had these beautiful crowns. And I'm like, you know, they just started walking in when I was talking. So I'm like, but I kept on doing my thing. And to make a long story short, at the end of the event, the director, Percy Lukey, she said, "Have you ever done pageantry before?" And I said, "No." And she goes, "I think you would be good at it." I said, "Me? Pageantry in a male pageant? No way."
Did you laugh? Did you really laugh like that?
It's like me and pageantry, you know, because I think sometimes when we overcome our circumstances of whether it's bullying, whether it is, you know, deformity or any type of insecurity that we go through in life, we still have a little bit of that, even though we say we don't. Because in that moment that she said, you know, you would be an amazing king, you would be great in pageantry. In my mind, I thought, yeah, no, I can't do that. You know, I went back to that's for a different kind of a man. That's for a man that's 20 times better looking than me. And that was my thing when she said that. And she said, "No, you really could, and I would like you to compete." And so she encouraged me. She encouraged me to go back to what I've been through my whole entire life up until that point where I was, and that opportunity that she presented to me to be in pageantry. There was only one thing to do at that point, and it was give it a shot. Just give it a shot. And that's exactly what I told myself, Edward, give it a shot, because you don't know what this opportunity will bring forth for you. And so it was the Miss Plus US Florida Prestige pageant in 2016. And I became Mr. Florida Prestige at that time in 2016. And so I was amazed by how I grew even more. You know, I think a lot of men see pageantry as a taboo, but pageantry for me is empowerment. It's uplifting, it is life-changing, and it really makes you feel great in your own skin. And you just kind of begin to grow into another level that you never thought you would be into. And it opens up so many more avenues and so many more doors, because then people see you with a different light once you have a title.
Yes, yes. You know, I've been in conversation with my own husband over the last few days, and you know, sharing with him the Man of Distinction pageant. He's heard about Andrea Sledge, you know, and her family, her mother. You know, he's heard all about them. And I told my husband, you know, you have an amazing story. You have an amazing testimony of survival, you know, and it's a story he's never told. My husband, you know, is very private. And so it's a story he's never told, but it will bring people to their knees to hear his story and to hear his testimony. And pageantry is the platform for that. And like you said, you know, you made such a great point. When you're, you know, when you walk into a room in regalia, people see you. They absolutely see you, and they see the royalty. They don't see your size. They don't see your color. They don't see your gender identification. They see a person. They see a human being that has a story, and they all listen. Everyone listens. Everyone listens. So really, you know, being a pageant title holder, we're a steward in our community, right? We are a conduit to bring our community together, because you know, we hold the vision and the mission of our pageant systems in high regard, with such significant responsibility. And so we are that conduit in our community. Great point. Great point that you made. Okay, so after 2016, so then what? Then what happened? You know, you win this title. You know, what has winning a title projected you into? You know, like modeling, magazine, radio, you know, fashion. What did simply winning a title, like you said, as it's life changing? How did it change your life?
And that's a great question. You know, I think changing my life just from the moment that I became a king, and I see myself in a different light. From that moment where I saw myself like, you're not where you were. You're at a different place and time in your life. And so being a king, you start working with your director, and your director has all these events, and you have to make appearances, because it's not about, oh, I win a crown and I win a sash and then you have it in your house. It's about community involvement, right? You're going to involve yourself with the community, and you're going to keep empowering people through your social media. So now you're working more, you're doing more things. And so the director had monthly events that the delegates, you know, the reigning royalty, we had to come together. So now we're networking. Not only are we networking, but now you're also meeting more people. And so as you continue to network and you meet more people, well, now there's more avenues and more doors being opened. I got into, you know, magazines. I got into more fashion shows. I actually was in Canada for a fashion show, and I got to wear my crown and sash there. It opens up so many more doors that we think are closed shut. Right. But pageantry just kind of says, I kind of see it, if it makes any sense, a step up from modeling. Most people go from pageantry, I guess, a little backwards, right? They go from pageantry to modeling times. And mine was backwards. I was already modeling. I went into pageantry, and then the pageantry opened up more modeling doors for me. And I got into Mr. World Class Kings magazine. I was in the front cover of that magazine. I got to do a lot of interviews. I've got to do a lot of fashion shows, a lot of runway shows. And I think my biggest satisfaction is being a role model for men, and even young children that are out there that are male, that you can compete in a male pageant. Right. I think that male pageants is a taboo. Yes. It's a taboo. When you say male pageant,
it's similar to plus size pageantry. You know, I've told people I'm a title holder in plus size pageantry, and they're like, really? Is that a thing? Like, wow, are you promoting obesity? No, it's not that, Yeah,
It's more
exactly.
than that.
Yes.
It's uplifting people and showing men that you can do something different. Because at the end of the day, what do you do as a king? What is a king? You're a
Hmm.
leader, right?
Hmm.
You're leading your people. You're leading your home. What is a husband? The husband is the king of the house. Your wife is the queen of the house.
Right, right. That's
Your,
right.
your children, your children are those of you that have children like I did. I have four. You empower your family
Hmm.
when you become a pageant king or queen, because your
Yeah,
girls are going to look up to you.
right.
Your boys are going to look up to you. As long as you do it in a proper manner, it
Hmm.
will be life changing for you and your family, because it
Yeah,
has been life changing for me. I
yeah.
mean, I did my first pageant in 2016 and I've been hooked.
Yeah, it's addictive, right? It's addictive. What in one way or in one capacity or another, you're involved, whether you're
Yes,
competing or lifetime royalty, it's or working with corporate, it's in some capacity. And you probably will for the rest of your life,
of
for
course.
the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I share, a similar story. I was recruited into pageantry, and I was like, well, yeah, I can get up on stage and look great, and because I just, this is what I do. I can do that. Like, I put myself together, and yeah, that's easy. And it was nothing like that. It was nothing like that at all. Absolutely nothing. Completely changed my life as well. My life has gone in a completely different direction. I changed the trajectory of my life when I competed in pageantry. So yes, very, very life changing. So you made a good point. You said you started out in fashion and then you went into pageantry. They're very different. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Give me, like your three top differences, that are like, that you really learned really quickly, transitioning from modeling to pageantry.
Well, modeling is, it's less personality at times and it's more about the clothes,
Mm-hmm.
about what you're wearing and the design,
Yeah.
right? So when you're on the runway, you're not moving a whole lot, you're not giving any smiles, straight catwalk, straight
Right.
face. Pageantry is all about your vibe, your energy, everything that you have to give, you leave it on stage, from your
Yes.
smile to the way you walk to the way, the clothing that you wear, your costume. Um, Pageantry opens up that door for you to be you and bring everything that you have to the table, versus when you're modeling in runway shows and you're modeling for a designer, you're giving them what they want as a designer. What is that designer looking for? If
Right.
for a specific walk, you need to give them that walk. This designer may want a European walk. This other designer may want New York straight catwalk. Um, this other designer may want you to do, like in Canada, for example, I did like a special walk for a fashion show that was related to bridal. So you had to walk a certain way and hold the female
Yes.
way. And when it comes to pageantry, you just have that open door to give all of you, everything that you have to offer during that weekend of pageantry is all yours. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the world in your hands and you just give it your all.
Yeah, I love it. Great way to explain the difference for sure. You're a human hanger in fashion, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I loved, rocking the runway. I would always rock the runway. I have I guess I was lucky in working with, designers that were like, go out there, Miss Camay, like, go give it to them, and, was able to really have a great time on the runway. And, but you're right, when in fashion, you are a human hanger, and, the fashion is simply walking down the runway on you. And
Absolutely.
that is it.
And I
There's
do want to
nothing.
point something else also, Camay, that um, when you look at fashion and people a lot of times are like, oh, well, I'm not gonna wear that. I won't wear
Right.
it. When you're in fashion as a model, you have to be versatile. Like I will wear a trash bag. If you put me in a trash bag,
Yes.
put me in a t-shirt, I don't care what I wear. It's my duty to bring to life what that person created. I may not like it. I may never purchase it. I may never wear it. But the fact that that person believed me enough to say, can you wear this? Will you wear this?
Yeah.
That is an opportunity. And I want to share one story that I was in a pageant in a fashion show in Florida about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wore a suit, I went on the runway, and there was a designer that she had women's clothes and they were all crochet.
Mm.
And so she looked at me while I was backstage. Mind you, I had already walked the runway with my suit, and she said, Edward, come here. Would you wear this? And so when she pulled it out,
Mm-hmm.
it was a long knitted cape. And then it was these shorts, really short shorts, but it was a woman's outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, would you wear this? I want this to go on the runway, and you're the only one that can fit this. So I looked at her and I'm like, that's gonna send me down the runway a second time? Yes, ma'am, I'll put it out.
Yes, right. I can go again. Okay, yeah, whatever you want.
Send me down that runway a second time. That's what I'm
Yes.
talking about. And the outfit had a bra. So she gave the bra part to a female for her to go down the runway with that bra and go with a different jean. And she put me in these shorts that were crocheted with the long garment. And I put on, and I had these sandals with me that they were my pageant sandals with some stones on them.
Uh-huh.
And I put that thing on and I went down the runway and I wore it and I gave it a masculine walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when I did my thing, make a long story short, that photo from that particular runway made it to a magazine.
Yeah.
That was there that day.
Amazing.
And so it's very important for us to be open to the things that come before us, that open before our feet.
Yes.
The doors that open and just be open and be receptive to when people see something in you, just go for it. Same thing in the pageantry world. If somebody sees something in you, you have to put yourself out there, whether you're in pageantry, whether you're in fashion, just be different.
Right.
But most importantly, be beautiful inside so that the inside can reflect on the outside and people will gravitate to that. And you need to open before your feet.
Yeah, such a great point. Such a great point. Oh my gosh, I love it. I knew we were going to have a great interview. I mean, you and I talked, previously to our interview today, and we had a great conversation. I call you my brother now, my brother through pageantry, my brother in pageantry. Your story is amazing. You just had an interview 5 days ago with Rose Walker, and she, just really highlighted who you are and your story and your testimony, how you were bullied as a child. You talk about being born with a cleft lip, and you're overcoming looking different, right? Being different. And in pageantry, I believe in the biblical foundation of pageantry. If you read the book of Esther, she spent an entire year preparing herself to go before the king, right?
Yes, that's my favorite story.
Yes. Yes. And when she was chosen, many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. And she was actually chosen to be queen. And she saved her race of people, an entire race of people being chosen. And my pageant journey, I definitely did not accomplish by myself. I was coached from the very beginning of my pageant career. DeAndre Sherrard was my pageant coach for many years. She coached me through American Beauties Plus and Washington Plus America, American Beauties Plus, and also, Miss Plus World. And I definitely don't believe that I would be where I'm at today if it wasn't for my coach. Have you ever been coached? Have you coached other people? What's your take on, on pageant coaches, and what should someone look for in a pageant coach to coach them to the crown?
Yes, I have been coached, and I love coaches. I think a coach is going to see things in you that you will not see, right?
Mhm.
The coach will also help you see things through their lens, see things through their eyes. And so, you know how they say two heads are better than one, you
Yes.
know?
Yep.
I think having a coach is always it's more empowering, right? And the reason why I say that, I have friends that are coaches, and even before I did All Well Beauties now in 2021 in June, I had a friend who was coaching me. We've been friends for years, and Dr. Megan Mothersill. She is the owner of Women in Business Entrepreneur Pageant, Women in Business WBLEP, which is Women in Business and Leadership Entrepreneur Pageant, and she was amazing to my journey. It was like, yeah, not those shoes, these shoes.
Yeah.
Not that jacket and that suit, but this suit.
Yes.
and um and sometimes people don't want to work with a coach, and there's different reasons, right? Maybe they can't afford it.
Right.
Maybe they can't afford to have a coach and pay the coach, or maybe they're afraid to reach out to other people. But you should never be afraid to reach out to other people in pageantry, because there are still the people out there that will help you, that will
Right.
give advice, that will, give you the information or the tools that you need to be successful and competing in a pageant. Because in a pageant, you have so much to prepare for.
Right.
There's interview. You got to prepare for your interview. Interview is, as you know, it's always the biggest bulk of your score in any pageant. And you
Right.
have to be able to interview, because if you cannot interview, then how are you going to represent the pageant or the title, should you be a title holder?
Right.
Once you become a king or a queen, you are on camera, you're constantly interviewing, you are the face of the brand. And
Right.
so I believe wholeheartedly in coaches. I do give advice with people that need some advice as far as pageantry is concerned, as well as modeling. When I'm asked, I do provide that information and the feedback if I can. I am working behind the scenes on some things, and in working up a coaching platform for myself as well in pageantry, which will involve the interview process, the gowns. It's so important, I think, for the women to pick the right gown,
Mm-hmm.
the right color,
Yes.
make sure that the gown is flattering to your shape.
Yes. And undergarments,
And
undergarments, under the undergarments, under those
yes,
undergarments.
because you don't want to see anything. You don't want to see anything
Yeah.
underneath the dress. So undergarments are important. But I think from what I've seen in a lot of in pageantry, there has to be someone that's going to coach you and say to you, you know what, Camay, no, that dress doesn't look, no, it's not too good on your body frame. You know what, Eddie, that jacket the color's not right. Because that is what's going to help you make the best choice and look your best when you go compete.
Right.
And you mentioned something very important when you said about the plus size. Plus size women, that's important for them to pick a gown that's going to make them look flattering.
Right.
It doesn't matter what size they are.
Right.
I believe any woman can look amazing.
Oh, yes.
If they pick the right gown, the right color, and the right fit for their body frame.
Yes, absolutely. 100% agree.
Size 20 or size 40. If you pick the right gown, you will look amazing.
Yes. Yeah. And you will present yourself amazing, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot a lot of people in pageantry have this, have such a misconception about the competition aspect of it, right? So they think that you're competing against the other delegates for the crown, and that is absolutely not accurate. You walk into the pageant, you walk on stage with 100 points. You walk on stage a winner. You walk on stage winning. Your step up there, you're winning.
That's it.
And points are taken away from you. Points are deducted from your presentation of yourself. And you can't focus on other delegates, what they're wearing, what their dress looks like, what their suit looks like, who they are, if someone likes them more, because you're taking the focus off of you and presenting yourself.
Right.
Because that's who you're competing against, is
Right.
yourself, your diligence, your dedication, your commitment, your confidence, right?
That's right.
Your resiliency,
That's right.
standing up with your shoulders, back and your head held high, representing who you are and where you've come from that has brought you, to this place today.
That is correct.
Yes.
And even if you don't win, always remember that
You're still a title holder.
That's it. And you did your best. And you
Yes.
gave your 100%. If you didn't win, you are still a title holder because you still own the state title. But at the same time, know that you gave your all that year. And maybe that wasn't your time. Maybe the following time, I competed in AWB in All Beauties back in 2018 as Mr. Florida at that time. And I was the first runner-up.
Mhm.
I still had my title as a state delegate for Florida, and I was also the People's Choice winner.
Mhm.
But that wasn't my time. I get it. And then so many years later, I competed again, and so today I'm the Mr. Man of Distinction Ambassador 2021. And so
Right.
I was able to move forward with this title, which to me it's an example of what exactly it is. It's inner beauty, empowerment, and service. And like I was speaking with Rose the other day, if you don't have inner beauty in yourself, then what do you have? You have
Right.
no self-esteem. You don't love yourself. There's a lot of things that go hand in hand with that are a negative trend.
Right.
But when you come to a place where you have inner beauty within yourself and you love yourself and who you are, then that is going to empower you
Right.
to be bigger and greater than what you are, which then is going to allow you to empower others. And now you become of service to others.
Exactly.
And so your platform in pageantry for anyone, regardless of whatever your platform is, can exemplify that, the inner beauty, empowerment, and the service that we are empowered to give to others. Pageantry has, it's motivated me. It's opened up so many more doors now since I won this title that it's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's just and so being able to go into a community center and work and take my crown off and my sash off and take everything off and just work, to me that's amazing because I'm giving back to the community. Being able to stand in front of students, in front of people that are in need, that are born with a cleft lip, or perhaps they're not born with a cleft lip, but they have other deformities, or maybe they don't have any deformities, but they have
they feel like they have a deformity.
Yeah. For me to be able to stand in front of these people and say my story to them and say, look at me now, this is where I'm at. If I can do it, you can. That is more important to me than anything else. And this title that I currently have, it continues to inspire me. And as I continue to do what I do, even if I didn't have a crown and I didn't have a sash, when I didn't have a crown and I didn't have a sash, I was still empowering people. I was still servicing people because that's what I love to do.
Right. It's in your heart to do. I remember when I was competing for the Washington Bless America title, and I had submitted my headshot for the cover of our program book. What is that called? The cover girl? Yeah. Yes, cover girl competition, right? Yeah. I didn't win it. So that's why I'm not clear on what it's called. And there was some kind of some drama around this whole entire process and situation, right? And I remember talking to a friend of mine. He was my a really good friend of mine at the time, and I told him, I said, I just want my pageant director, I just want her to be proud of me. I just want her to tell me that she's proud of me. I just want her to recognize what I'm doing and, my appearances. And I just want her to really be proud of me. And he said, you don't need her to be proud of you. You need to be proud of you. He said, don't sit and wait around for someone else to be proud of your efforts. You be proud of your efforts.
That's right.
And the feedback was life-changing for me. As you said, we all are beautiful, we all are magnificent, we all have our own greatness that we were born with, that we are destined to walk in. This is not about anybody else. We don't need validation from anyone else except ourselves. And I think once people, find that, I found that through pageantry, you found that through pageantry. I think when people find that, it's such a gift to them.
Yes.
It's such a gift to themselves, and no one else can give it to them but them.
That's right.
So gosh, we could talk for an hour or two or three or maybe even four. In closing, what do you want to say to, well, let me ask you this. Who has been, what pageant director has really influenced you the most, and why?
What pageant director has influenced me the most and why? I would have to say my first director. And the reason why I have to say her is because she is the one that made me believe that I can do this. She believed in me before I believed in myself.
Yeah. And who is that? What's her name?
Percy Luque. It's Luque. Luque. Percy
Okay.
Luque.
Big shout out to her for, pushing you and challenging you. And like you said, seeing you that you couldn't see yourself.
Yes.
It's amazing. I think, pageant directors, there are so many of them out there. For any of you who are interested in pageantry, king or queen, do your research, guys. Research the pageant system, research the director, ask the director for references, talk to past title holders, current reigning title holders, they're there, they've just won, they've just begun to represent themselves and their platform in the system. Contact previous title holders and ask them what their experience was, and make sure that it aligns with your values and your platform and what you're doing. Like it says in the Bible, if you're not equally yoked, you're not going to get anywhere. There will be no movement. So make sure that this pageant system is going to be equally yoked with you and what you believe in. Edward, you got a book coming out, right?
I do.
Yeah, let talk to us a little bit about that in closing, where people can get it. Are we doing an autographed copy giveaway today on the Miss Camay show, or
yes,
what? What's the deal? Yes, talk to us about that.
Well, this is Look at Me Now. This book, I got the offer through the pandemic. That's how that happened. I was home minding my business. Home all day like everyone else. And Rose Walker reached out to me if I wanted to be a part of Look at Me Now. And she said, you inspired this book 3 years ago in 2018 when her and I met. And I was explaining to her my story from where I used to be with the collective and where I'm at now. And that's where the inspiration came. Look at Me Now. There's 20 people that are sharing their stories in my book, along with myself, people that have been through certain circumstances, people that have prospered through the pandemic, what they went through the pandemic, how they prospered, and where they are heading now. So I share my biography here, some of it, some important details that I talk about that a little bit deep in my story. And I also share where I'm at today and the things that God has allowed me to accomplish.
Great. Where can people find that? Where can people get that book?
Well, people can message me at Mr. Edward Tapia music at gmail.com. So Edward Tapia music at gmail.com. Can send me the email and I can send them the link because right now it's through a link for pre-order. And so
Okay.
if they might write me to my email, I can send them the link so they can go ahead and pre-order the book.
Okay, so expect an email from the Miss Camay Show at gmail.com.
You have my MOT email, so you can message me there.
Yes, yes, yes. I definitely want my copy for sure.
And then how do you want to raffle the book?
Well, I don't know. It's up to you. Anybody that contacts you and tells you that they watched your interview on the Miss Camay Show, maybe you can send them a free autograph copy.
All right.
I don't have like 500 million fans. So
Okay.
you won't be giving 500. I mean, maybe I do. I don't know.
Well, let's do this. The first person that messages me,
Perfect.
we'll get the free autograph book.
Yes.
I do want to say one thing because we talked a lot about pageantry. Any men that are out there, I encourage you to join the brotherhood. It is not genderized. I cannot express that. I don't know how else to say it. It's Mr. Man of Distinction, All Beauties pageant. You would not lose anything, but you would win so many amazing people. You'll make so many new brothers that you will meet, men that are married, that have children, men that are just passionate about their platforms. So I encourage any man that's watching this, let the people's opinions go to the trash with the way.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And I encourage
absolutely.
you to join the brotherhood, and you will not regret it, because pageantry can be just as life-changing for a man as it can be for a woman or has been for women.
Yes, absolutely. So how can people get more information on the All World Beauty Pageant? Can they reach out to you directly? Where can people connect with you?
They can connect with me on Facebook, or they can connect me on people depend on the people on how they use their social media nowadays.
Yeah.
But if you Instagram is Edward_Tapia fashion model, Edward_Tapia fashion model on Instagram. On Facebook, you can look up the National All World Beauties and Man of Distinction page. That's All World Beauties and Man of Distinction National page. I can send you the links, and if anyone messages you as well.
Yeah, we will definitely post all of the links that Edward is sharing with us in our interview in the comments below, for sure.
Absolutely, and then
Yes,
that way,
yes.
if anyone wants more information, I'll be more than happy to provide that information.
Perfect. Edward, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story with me today. I'm so honored to have you. I wanted to be the first exclusive interview. Miss Camay always likes to get that first interview, but you have been a very busy man. Definitely have a lot to share, people's lives to change. And keep standing at this podium, Edward. Keep sharing your story.
Thank you.
Looking forward to your consulting, quote unquote, business that you've got coming. Congratulations on the launch of your book. I'm so happy to know you. I am calling you. Sending you a call to action. 2022. I need to see you at Miss Plus World. I won't take no for an answer. You need to be there. Your presence is your presence is required.
All right. Well, I'm going to be at Miss Plus World US in Alabama in a few weeks.
Yes. See, so you can't go to Miss US Plus World and not come to Miss Plus World. I'm just saying,
All right. I can't miss the one in Texas. That's in Texas, right?
Yes. Yes. In Houston.
Yes,
Houston, Texas, 2022. Yes. Thank you so much, Edward. I love you so much. You're my brother in pageantry. Thank you so much for this interview. I so appreciate you. Stay well, my friend. Stay safe. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I so appreciate you tuning in to the Miss Camay Show. You know where to find us. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and never miss another interview. Bye, you guys.
Bye.